Hello, good evening and welcome to One Life Left, Britain's favourite and happiest video game radio show. I'm Steve Curran.
Hello, I'm Simon Byron.
And I'm Anne Scantlebury.
Simon, you're some headphones down. We had a bit of sort of musical chairs chaos, didn't we, at the start of the show, where we all grabbed a pair of headphones and you were left without.
I haven't got any, no, so I can't feel the someone else's body heat on my ears.
It's one of the consequences.
Sadly, how's it going? How's it sounding?
It's how you sound brilliant.
Yeah, thanks very much. I liked how you started the show just before the theme finished by shouting, "Shut up, everybody!" when no one was saying anything. Britain's happiest radio show.
That's
how are you,
right.
Steve?
I'm great. I've had a fantastic week. My washing machine broke.
Excellent.
My girlfriend dropped her phone in the bath.
Are you joking?
And my cat put its paw through the sink. So
really?
I know. It probably means
that's that done now, isn't it? But doesn't bad stuff
super
happen?
Heroic cat.
Hey, how's your week, Anne?
Do you know what? My week has been brilliant.
Why?
Because yesterday I completed... I'm turning 30 next month.
No.
I'm totally fine with it, guys.
You don't look a day over 29.
Thank you.
How old are you when we met?
I would have been...
We didn't meet at the same time because I met her first.
Yeah, I met Steve when I was...
I sent Steve to check you out first before I met you.
Just how we do things.
Exactly.
Let's say I was 18, so I've known you for over 10 years.
30, okay, so you're turning 30 soon.
Turning 30 soon. I've never had things to do before I'm 30 list, so I figured I should probably make one. Really like roast dinners. So yesterday I did 2 roast Sunday.
Oh, what?
What?
Yeah. It involved, exactly as you might expect, eating 2 roast dinners on a Sunday. It was
surely
really
that's
lovely.
Not possible.
It actually is.
Really?
Yeah, I did it. And I'm feeling really cocky. I'm like, could have done 3.
Well, could have done 3. Maybe before you're 40.
Maybe.
If you make it that far.
Both the same type of roast?
No, a lamb and a beef.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pork chicken.
No, there wasn't any in the second place actually.
Right, okay.
And the second roast was rubbish.
Any difficulties? I mean, was it easy?
It was pretty easy actually.
And is it just mains or did you go for pudding?
Just mains.
Okay.
Just mains. But I had a good team behind me.
And that was the only thing on your list, was it?
Well, yeah, I figured I should put something on there. That seemed like a good enough thing to do. Done it now. Can turn 30.
When you say team, I imagine it a bit like a pit stop in a Formula 1 race. Like someone wiping your mouth after each morsel.
Well, up and getting me some more wine.
Yep, exactly.
And when are you 30?
May the 13th.
Okay, so still time to add to this list then, I guess. So listeners, if you've got anything you want to add to Anne's list, email
team@onelifeleft.com.
That's actually, see, it's Pavlovian, isn't it, with you? Even then when something bad is about to happen to you.
I can't not tell you to email.
Email
team@onelifeleft.com.
Well, we're One Life Left. We're a video game radio show. I'm just about to put away the CD that we used to introduce the show.
Okay, yeah, good.
It's labelled...
Right, One Life Left theme tune.
Right, that's what the show before us puts on to, you know, to sort of hype us up. Just about to put it away. I found this CD. Look what this says.
Filler material disc 1. Do not remove from studio. Just stick it on. Let's swap the labels.
Well, it's good to know that's there, though, isn't it? Just in case we ever find ourselves flagging.
Or just in case we have terrible guests, which won't be happening this week, will it? Won't be happening this week, will it? Because we're joined by not one super special guest, but 2. It's Holly and Kate from the Toku Podcast.
We've been saying it Toku.
Toku.
But you can
Kotaku.
Say it exactly like that every time.
We will do now. We've been doing the Kotaku joke for 10 years. So.
Thanks for coming on. How are you both?
Good. We are collectively good.
Good.
Yes.
Excellent. Looking forward to chatting to you later. But Steve, you finished with the potential filler material. Let's put the one that we do every time this week. It's Anne's News.
7:04 on Monday the 20th of April. I'm Anne Scantlebury and this is the news. Phil Harrison has left Microsoft to set up his own company. Alloy Platform Industries will sadly not be pitching itself as the company to finally bring Microsoft down, but will be working with unannounced Microsoft technology on secret projects. And in other sad leaving news, Peter Molyneux has lost his right-hand 22 cans man, Jack Attridge. Jack has decided to spread his wings and fly and start work on his own project. Good luck and Godspeed, everybody.
Jattridge is gone.
Jattridge John.
Jattridge and Peter, both friends of the show. They were on GDC the year before last.
Yeah.
Came on, talked about what they thought about in the shower, didn't they?
And their messy
Well, Peter
desks.
did. Jack mostly just looked at him.
Yeah. Where's he going, Anne?
Doing his own projects. He started a game already, but he's not keen to show it around because he doesn't want to promise more than he can deliver.
Some intriguing technology.
Is that true? Is that what he said? That's a Barb's comment, isn't it?
Said in the Guardian article, some
Right.
intriguing technology, I think.
Okay,
Intriguing tech, but
Right.
can't talk about it at this point.
Well, so why? So he's just.
I've just found Lewis's news jingle. Could come in useful if this goes badly. I'm not helping it go well, am I? I'll put this stuff away.
He's gone before Goddess is completely finished, right?
Yeah. Apparently his leaving gift to the team was he's filmed a documentary of the team on his GoPro. And that's his final parting
Is that an
gift to the
appropriate
team.
leaving gift
Well, filming a documentary.
for your colleagues? I mean, I'm leaving my job next
Get on
week.
with it,
Exactly.
Get your
I have to
GoPro.
make a doc. About what about them?
Yeah. About
So here's my gift to you.
Yeah, it's about you.
Here's what you are.
yeah.
It's a little
Or his-
creepy, isn't
It
it?
feels a little creepy,
Yeah,
doesn't
it's
it?
like, well, you don't know this, but I've actually been following you around with a camera.
Where's his GoPro been? Because it can't have been on his head.
Did
Yeah.
he say it was his GoPro, or was it the company's? I'm just wondering who's. I'm wondering
think
whose
it's
tax
his.
dollars are paying for this.
I think it's his GoPro.
It's his GoPro.
and
We'll find out.
Farrison, where's he going?
He set up his own special company with a deliberately ambiguous name. So they could be doing anything.
What are they called?
Alloy, what is it?
Alloy Ventures.
Alloy Platform Industries.
Industries.
Oh, that sounds like the worst name.
Maybe it's an anagram. Maybe we can work out what this technology is. What's an anagram of alloy? Yellow. Yellow.
Okay, and he's
Yalol.
using Microsoft technology then,
Yeah,
is he?
so
But he's been
been
working at Microsoft.
Yeah, and he's working in partnership with, who's the other one that begins with a P?
Phil Spencer.
That one.
Spencer.
Puspa. Yeah, apparently he's been working with him, and it sounds as though it's on technologies and things.
Didn't he say he talked about a Venn diagram? It's where three things intersect. He said it was to do with maybe games and people and entertainment. There might have been something else. I don't know.
It's
That
fun.
sounds like a Facebook game to me.
Yeah.
Really? Exactly. It's making
Yeah.
Farmville.
Games,
Okay.
people, entertainment. That's a game. That's just a game.
And shouldn't Microsoft be checking Phil Harrison's timesheets then or something? If he's suddenly leaving Microsoft and then going, actually, I've got working with all this Microsoft technology that I've...
And he's working with people that he's usually working with. So what's he been doing on the clock?
I tell you what,
Just
they
have a meeting.
should check his pockets for the company GoPro.
Steam users will have to spend $5 on Steam to access some of the platform's features. Things like sending friend invites, posting frequently in Steam discussions, and voting in green light will be limited to curb malicious users. Valve explained, one of the best pieces of information we can compare between regular users and malicious users are their spending habits, as typically the accounts being used have no investment in their longevity. Looks like it's adios, malicious users, Valve's steaming you out.
So I've got no headphones on, so I can't hear the jingle, but it's interesting watching our super special guest dance to, like, all I can hear is your voice, and just dance, shaking their head to the news.
We're just really getting into it.
Exactly. I love this Steam news.
I like that
So that's what people have been up to then, is it? They've been being malicious.
Yeah, going on, coming over here, spending no money, requesting us as friends.
Right.
Yeah.
Have you seen any of that activity yourself?
No, I don't. I don't do community things.
Okay.
I don't like to talk to other people.
Right.
They're scary and terrifying. They might be malicious.
Right.
Maybe if everybody has to pay to interact, then I'll.
How are you going to do? Are you going to set up a booth, like a kissing booth, but for talking?
But for yeah, yeah. I mean that sounds right. Because if you're going to pay money to talk to me, you've probably got something interesting to say. I imagine. But I do find this interesting that they're saying, we can say very definitely that people who are coming on and using this platform in ways that we don't want them to aren't spending money, so we're going to make people have to spend money.
Is this just for new users?
No, I think it extends to everybody. If you've never spent more than $5, essentially what they've done, Valve, as they often do, is that they've created a revenue stream out of things that don't exist. So they sell you virtual hats. You collect virtual trading cards and all that sort of stuff. And now all they're doing is they are basically, all the spammers are now going to have to pay $5 into Valve, and then they can do the spamming, can't they? It just means that Valve got more money, even more money.
Do you think they should up the price so that spammers aren't like, it's only $5. It's only $5.
$5.
$5.
Yeah. Did you see that that photo that was allegedly from a Far Eastern reviews factory, a mobile phone reviews factory? Did anybody else see this like a month or two ago?
It's been passed around of all of the devices on the sort of...
And
she's got them lined up on one of those like library racks.
Right.
Yeah, for books, but she's got phones on it. It's just terrible.
Rating.
I don't know. Libraries. That struck me as one of those photos that gets passed around the internet with no validation of what it is.
What else could she be doing?
She could be playing music. Each of those could be a brilliant iOS music app, and she could be, she could be blowing up a dance floor somewhere.
She looked very bored.
She could have a lot of friends.
Some music is boring. Yeah, she could have loads of friends.
Yeah.
She could just love devices.
She could have
You've got loads of devices.
I've got loads of devices. I could farm myself out. I heard of a scam over the weekend, actually. Not to do with video games, but you might be interested in it. Apparently, there is a prominent online-only supermarket delivery service that does mainly Waitrose.
Okay.
And that you can...
Are we trying not to say the name, but we are saying the name of the supermarket?
You can. I've not said it. I've not said it. And you get £20 off if you recommend a friend. Mm-hmm. And you're nodding if you know this, Kate, but a friend of mine's daughter's, who's a student, she's just been setting up loads of fake Gmail accounts, which you can do an infinite number of, and recommending her own recommendations, and just do on this infinite loop of.
Really?
Getting £20 free?
Deliveries, yeah.
Why did I never think of that?
Yeah.
What's wrong with me?
Thanks for the idea.
I've also heard, though, you can charge $5 to get onto Steam and give things 5 stars.
The new Apple Watch is getting at least 2 exclusive games. Get that, at least 2. Surgeon Simulator developer Bossa Studios is releasing Spy Watch, a spy game, for the expensive piece of timeware. And Watch Quest, Heroes of Time from Way Forward, will use an iPhone as the hub for the game, with the watch for the journey part of the game. The Apple Watch will be out on the 24th of April and will cost at least £299, which is the same price as an Xbox One or a week in the Costa del Sol, flights and accommodation.
How many people in this room wear watches?
I don't have one on today.
I don't. I usually do, but I've forgotten.
Simon, you're the early adopter and the watch wearer.
I have a wearable on me.
Yeah. How are you getting on with it?
Love it. Yeah, it's good. So I'm wearing a Pebble at the moment.
But you won't be moving to the Apple Watch, will you?
A bit too rich for my wrist.
Do you play any games on your Pebble? Is that a thing that can happen?
No.
Are there any games for the Pebble?
I think there's a Flappy Bird and there's a mining game.
Oh dear.
Oh dear, exactly.
I mean, lovely, wonderful,
yes,
fantastic.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Yeah, but they say being early is part of the can play a big part in success. So well done, Bossa and the other guys.
Way Forward.
That's the way forward. Have they said anything about the Spy Watch?
It's a game.
And that's all we need to know these days, is it?
Game.
That sounds great.
No. What they did say was, it's going to make you feel like you're James Bond.
Okay.
Does the watch not always already do that?
Well, maybe you need
and the talking.
It doesn't turn into like a gun.
No,
because that would make me feel like James Bond.
No, because James Bond plays Flappy Bird on his wrist, doesn't he?
If I was making this game, I would make you do like things at time. You would have to wear it, and then occasionally it would go, right, talk into your watch. Okay. Say these words, and it would detect whether you've done it. Occasionally it would say, make the sound of gunfire. And however many of those you passed, you would get a spy rating at the end of every day.
I think that does sound quite similar. It is about messaging your agent and receiving messages and doing various things.
Okay, well, if it is like that, I'm going to sue. Can you do that? Let's say yes.
In an update to the news that Daniel Radcliffe will be playing rock star Sam Houser in the BBC's upcoming Grand Theft Auto drama, we can unexclusively reveal that Bill Paxton will be starring alongside him as Jack Thompson. Paxton is known for many things, but he was the dude that made the old lady tell her story in Titanic. Speaking about Thompson, he said there'd be a gag order and he'd still go on talk shows. He would write these hateful letters to people he was litigating. He just got caught too emotionally up in it.
I don't know what to think about this.
Right, do you know why this is actually relevant?
I'm excited to find out.
Yeah, go on.
Because filming started today.
Did it?
You know, when we spoke about this the other week?
Last
week.
We said that it's filming started
and we were going,
next
guys,
week, didn't we?
You have got to get on with casting the other guy. You've got to get on with casting Jack Thompson. They hadn't at that point. They have, and they've started filming.
But the question following up from last week is, have they cast you yet?
They haven't got in touch with me yet.
Well, that's not necessarily how casting works, unless you were playing you.
Actually, I did get called by a casting agent today
Right.
to be an extra in a film.
Okay.
It's probably not that.
We don't know
It's
who's...
insulting. What? You're an extra in a film that involves you?
No, they haven't got in touch with me to offer up my news stories and to read them as I would have done at the time. It's a shame, isn't it?
Has anybody here ever met Jack Thompson? No?
No.
Right. Good.
And finally, listeners of a biologically sensitive nature are advised to avert their ears while we talk about nipples. The Japanese version of PlayStation 4 exclusive game The Order 1886 has removed nipples and willies from the game. The man whose dong was visible was put in a pair of long johns, while the topless woman wasn't asked to cover up, she just had her nipples taken right off. The game was released with an 18+ Z rating. Japan is obviously not working on One Life Left's If It's Biology, You're Okay rules.
Oh, wow. That's confusing.
This is curious, because this is the second time this week I've thought about nipples coming off.
Is it?
Because on Gogglebox the other day, which is how I watch all TV these days through the eyes of strangers, there was, I think it was extreme body modifications, and there was a dude who'd had his nipples cut off and he kept them in his freezer.
What did he have them replaced? Just skin, just blank skin.
I was not. I genuinely had my hands over my eyes, so I didn't see.
Why would you keep them to be like, oh, hey everybody, look what
Why
I've
would
got?
you get them cut off?
Like a kind of
Well,
really weird Iceland party
Honestly,
dish.
at that point, right? Like, if you've had your nipples cut off and the doctor says, "Do you want to keep them?" I don't know what the right answer to that is, because if you say no, it feels like you don't value... He's giving you a gift, right? If you say no, that seems rude. So you take them, but then where do you put them?
What's like your appendix? Would you keep your appendix in like a little
You eat
jar?
it.
It's
like
not
a
like your
placenta.
appendix.
You eat it. You fry it up and you
Right.
eat it. With
You eat everything that comes
It's
off.
just everything.
I'm
Okay.
pretty sure pig nipples are a thing you can eat. Like
Yeah,
pig
yeah,
scratchings, but
100%.
nippleier.
Yeah, that's definitely something. So
I just
maybe
don't know
that's
if
what
I
he's
want them
planning.
cold, though.
So
And I
you're
wonder-
keeping them in the microwave?
I wonder if he's getting, like, sympathy coldness on his chest. Oh, it's a bit nippy in here. Well, it was.
Hey, that's good. That's good.
Right. Okay, and that's so the early editions of the unpatched versions of the Order, they will have had nipples
In Japan, no. Apparently this... this was from the get-go,
Okay,
but it's only just been
we've
noticed.
only just realised.
Oh, you just realised. Because sometimes you're not looking directly at the nipple.
Right.
That's really confusing. Why has the man got long johns, but the woman has just had them taken off?
Nippleless.
Because you can't
Yeah,
wear
it's
long
not
johns
really
on your top, can you?
But you could buy something else, like a vest,
Like
or
some
something
nipple
else.
tassels?
Yeah.
Some pasties.
They'd have to
Oh,
be
we had this
steam
before.
pig nipple
Pasties.
tassels.
You put some pasties on your
Pasties.
on your top, you'd be
Yeah.
fine.
It's like being back in the north.
Do they just walk around with pasties? Yeah,
Yep.
sure.
Thanks, Anne.
One Life Left video game news with Anne Scantleberry.
You're listening to One Life Left on Resonance 104.4 FM. This is Mr. Beep and Hornet's Assault. I think it's that. There's been a bit of an error with the music. Well, so we might end up playing the filler CD.
For an hour.
I think it's that. It's from chipmusic.org anyway. You can always track it down if I'm wrong about that.
As we prepared to come back on air then, Anne did something interesting with her headphones, which I'm unable to do because I don't have any, but she sort of raised them to her head, and rather than let them place them gently, she just sort of let go of both together. Ooh. And then they sort of, can I try it?
No, these are my headphones, Simon.
Okay.
You don't have headphones today.
So how did that go? Did it hurt?
No, it's because they've got cushions on them.
Right.
It's like just having a nice little hug.
On your ears. Okay, so we're One Life Left. We're a radio show about video games. We've got a couple of features coming up later in the show. This is some music. But we also have guests. We have guests every week.
We do.
We don't always actually have plural guests, do we?
No.
We do. You've really pushed the boat out this week.
Well, it's not often we have rivals on, is it?
Well, we
rivals.
But,
Are they going to kill us? Oh, God.
Keep your friends close and your enemies
in your studio.
Right. So what's all this about this new podcast then?
I mean,
Yes. Well, we've started a podcast called Toku Podcast.
Toku, it's called.
Yes, Toku or /Toku, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, and it's not just about video games. It's kind of video games and books and films, and basically a platform that we can talk about things we like.
And we're technically in the comedy section on iTunes,
which is slightly unnerving. That's really scary.
How did we get there?
We didn't want to be in anywhere else because we didn't really want to stick to just talking about games, even though we have done so far. So comedy, you can always guarantee on there being comedy.
Wow.
Which is such a huge pressure because people are going to listen, just be like, okay, where's the comedy now? They've talked about Legend of Zelda for 20 minutes. I don't understand.
You record on a Monday night, don't you?
Yes.
And that's why you're here.
Interesting.
So you can't record this week.
Sabotage.
Well, exactly, yeah. So how's it going? Your episode 9?
Recording episode 4
Oh,
tonight.
4.
Yes.
Okay, right.
We're a very new little podcast.
And last episode went a bit wrong.
Yeah.
So it's not going fantastically, but we worked it, okay?
Yeah, well, we recorded the podcast and then the recording messed up.
Yeah.
So we were up until 2 a.m. trying to edit it so it didn't just sound like we were completely insane. And we ended up going insane because we stayed up till 2 a.m.
Right.
And we tried to do that thing, you know, in Twin Peaks, David Lynch does it, where he gets the actors to talk backwards and then reverses it so it kind of sounds quite disjointed and strange. We tried to do that.
It went so wrong. Like we're saying things like Holly and Kate, Toku Podcast, but it sort of sounds like someone punched us in the face.
We sound a bit like the Elephant Man. It's really not good.
Okay. We didn't mean to. We're not trying to make fun of people, obviously.
We're just really bad. But anyway, listen to our podcast.
Well, I was it's interesting you say that talking backwards, because I was wondering whether Toku was like, because what is name? Does name come from anything to do with Kotaku?
No,
Toku. What's going on?
Maybe it's an anagram.
Or something like you say Kotaku, Toku. I don't know. Like it sounds like someone.
What we're kind of
you
like
sneeze
the
and you say
baby
bless
of
you.
Kotaku,
Yeah. I don't know.
Like Kotaku gave birth to us, like a little egg. No, no. We were just trying to think of a name for ages.
Yeah,
we kind of knew what we wanted to do, but just didn't have a name. And eventually we well, first of all, we ended up looking at because Kate studied classics and I studied history, so we ended up looking at Latin words and Greek words, and they sound really serious and don't really work for a podcast name.
And everyone would know that we're complete dorks.
Yeah,
so,
and now they just have to listen to find that out. Okay. But yeah, so no, we just looked up the Japanese translations, and it's the anglicised version of talk. We were just looking up kind of chat and talk and things like that.
It's very close to an anagram of AKA Toku. Kotaku and it's almost AKA Toku. Yeah. It's not because there's an A missing. So it's AK Toku.
Kotaku.
Also known Toku.
Right.
That's what we were going for.
You figured it out. You're the first person. Well done.
It's all right. I'll keep working on this.
Yeah. And how's it going there? Have you done podcasts before, either of you?
No, I haven't, but you have.
I've done what have I done? I've been on Chat Very Good. I've been on Off the Record, which was CVG's one. I did the O&M podcast.
R.I.P.
Yeah. Oh, so sad. That's about it. We didn't have an OXM one.
Yeah, I've just done kind of appeared on people's, but we kind of decided. Yeah, we decided we got along and we wanted to talk about things that
I
we
hate
like.
her so much.
Yeah, we're actually massive rivals and we're just punching each other when we're recording it.
You can't tell. They're very soft punches.
Yeah, it's all good.
What's the reaction been like so far?
Good.
Yeah, really positive.
Very good.
Yeah, we've been really pleased. We were kind of wondering, just because it's us talking about things we liked, whether or not it would be a bit too just designed for us to enjoy. But other
we've
people
had really nice people. Someone said it was like listening to a really nice sleepover. That's nice.
Okay. Is that
I
a
enjoy
compliment?
sleepovers.
No, it was the funniest sleepover ever.
Yeah.
So there we go.
We were once described as the most British thing anyone had ever seen. We were doing it live, weren't we?
That's true.
At Nordic Game.
What were you doing?
Well, this is it. We weren't sure whether that was a compliment or not. I mean, it seemed to be said in a way that it wasn't a compliment, didn't it?
Well, I've also been told personally by a friend that it's the only thing he can listen to on his tour bus because it's the only thing that will send him to sleep. And he was saying that
nice.
in a
Well done for
way.
dropping that in. Have you got any friends that would listen to you on a tour bus, for example, like, i.e. someone from churches?
No, now we feel inadequate.
Yeah,
now
now
having
we've
famous
got,
friends.
I know. Now we're just like, no, we have some games writers listen to us.
Oh,
that's glamorous.
Who doesn't in this studio though? So, yeah.
Well, I was listening to you this morning, and yesterday.
Good research.
On,
Yeah,
on,
that's
your
very
tour, on your
diligent.
tour bus.
On my tour bus, yeah, exactly, as I was walking down the A1. I thought it was a bit rude in places, actually, I have to say.
Really? It's Holly.
Really?
It's all Holly.
I'm very sorry.
She's filthy.
What's your nipple chat game?
God, we've definitely talked about nipples.
100%.
Pretty sure. We
Yeah.
have. Yeah, 3
Honestly, Anne,
episodes
but
in.
but within a minute they'd dropped the F-bomb. Yeah.
By
We
then,
are
it
no
was probably
swears.
me.
We've
So,
got
yeah.
like a really cute logo. So on iTunes, it's this adorable like pink and blue logo, and then explicit lyrics. It's just so weird singing two
It kind
together.
of makes it's kind of a strange kind of like juxtaposition of
Yeah.
really sweet, nice Toku, cups of tea, yay, and then just explicit.
It's like your grandma flashing a stranger or something.
Now, this isn't the first time we've had rivals on the
Rivals,
show,
no.
is it?
No.
We had
Guy
G.
Cocker,
Cox,
yeah.
didn't we?
Yeah.
What's happened to his show?
As far as I know, it's not going anymore.
It's not, is it?
No, do you remember? And there was that TV show that won Broadcaster of the Year at the GMA.
Yeah, that
Can't remember
show.
the name because they're not on air
No,
anymore,
no,
are they?
in fact, I was doing a sort of quick head count of all the people who've beaten us at the GMAs. Do you know how many are still going?
Go on.
0.
Really?
So
What have you done?
This is
Basically-
sounding like a mafia list right
Yeah.
now.
What we've done is we've brought you in for a little chat. Like, I mean, it's great. It's great to see
you
newcomers,
say it
fresh
really
blood,
is.
all that sort
and,
of stuff.
and you know, we couldn't be happier that you're doing this. But that said, you've said you're in the comedy section, which is great.
Yeah,
'cause
exactly.
You're funny.
We're
You're funny
games.
people. You're funny people.
thank
We're
you.
games. That's great. Now you say you don't just talk about games on the show, do you? You talk about books and you talk about films and other things that aren't games. And perhaps, I don't know, perhaps there's a way we can coexist.
Maybe.
If, for example, we stopped treading on each other's toes.
Exactly.
I mean, the other option is for us to start talking about books and films.
Exactly.
We don't want
No,
to
we don't
have
want
to
to
do
do
that.
that.
We don't. We've already got too many opinions on games.
Exactly. And it also makes sense at this point to divide up the listenership, doesn't it? You mentioned you have games journalists
True,
listening to you. Could
Yes.
you maybe name them and then we could split them up?
Because they shouldn't be. Contractually,
Exactly.
we've talked to them.
You should have comedy
Keith Stuart.
writers.
There you go.
Yeah.
What?
He
Taste
definitely
you.
listened to us.
Yeah.
Does he?
Yes.
Does he?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. We're gonna write.
Do you have his phone number?
Should I call him?
Do you want to call him?
Yeah.
No, don't call him now. Call him after we've played some music,
Okay.
and we can make sure this happens. Well,
no,
don't
go,
worry.
go.
This isn't your fault. This isn't your fault. That's the important thing to remember here.
He likes us better though.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Boom. Shots fired.
He sent us a picture that was an in-joke from the podcast.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah,
just
There
saying.
we go.
Just saying.
we've got more dangerous pictures than that of Keith. So
Anyone
Anyway.
else? Anyone else?
Who else listens to? I don't know.
Oh God, panic now. Joe Scrabbles.
Oh, let's not mention him.
Joe Scrabbles, but yeah, he listens.
Yeah.
I don't know, quite a few people. I'm scared now
Okay,
to
if
say
you
that they
could
are
come up with a
listening in case
list
they're
and then
not.
Okay.
just answer the list.
Yeah, exactly.
Just
So, for those of you that don't listen to One Life Left and have decided to listen to the Toku podcast, where could they find you?
Oh, we're on SoundCloud. We're also on iTunes. We're on Feedburner.
Yes, we're basically, I think, because we're very new to this, so
Yes.
we started off just getting very confused with SoundCloud.
Yeah.
People were like, no, SoundCloud is bad, you want something else. So we got...
We said screw you, and we stuck with it.
But no, we're
Yeah.
on iTunes, SoundCloud's, Feedburner.
Yes.
Basically, Toku Podcast in any
Pretty much everything. Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, Facebook. We've got everything.
Yeah, we've covered the social media.
Are we on these things?
It doesn't matter. I mean, the important thing is, if you do choose to listen to Toku, that is fine. But if you could let us know,
goodbye,
goodbye
forever.
Take you off the list.
I was
and
thinking
block
we should start up a karaoke night.
Yeah, Toku.
That's brilliant.
That's really good. Awesome.
Feel free. Going on the list. Okay. Thanks, guys. It's time for local news, I think.
Hello, I'm Sega Badawi, and welcome to One Life Left, Local News. Over in the United States of the Mushroom Kingdom, a former First Lady has announced her intention to run for president. Princess Peach has said that she would be running on a 2D and 3D platform where people can freely bake cakes for their partners, whether they be plumbers, women, giant lizards wearing crowns, or golfers. If you recall, Princess Peach was First Lady when her husband Mario was president. While he was in the Oval Castle, he had a scandal where it was said he had an affair with his intern, Monica Berdowski. During a conference, he said the infamous phrase, "It's-a-me," did not have a sexual relationship with that pink dinosaur creature. Princess Peach is already under attack from the rival Koopa Party around this incident, but she rightly points out that her partner's dealings have nothing to do with her competence at being president. Thanks, and back to your usual programming.
I've just remembered a story that links Keith Stuart and nipples.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Can we tell it now or not?
Yeah, no, we absolutely can. Do you remember this,
nipple.
Anne? When we were at Nottingham Game City, and we locked Keith in the bathroom. This happened, didn't it? This happened. We just discovered Snapchat.
Yeah.
One Life Left just discovered Snapchat.
The game Snapchat.
The game Snapchat, which we invented, so back off. And we locked Keith in the bathroom, and we would send him pictures of either a nipple or something that we'd made look like a nipple, and he had to guess what it was. And it was always something we'd made look like a nipple. It was mostly like the wallpaper, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That fooled him. Anyway, there we go. So this
Went
show
to
is
someone's
more.
freezer.
This show is better structured than I thought. We're doing all kinds of kind of things. Are we going to call him now?
Yeah.
What, right now?
Hang on. Oh, I'm not going to get Siri to do this. Contacts.
What telephone numbers have you guys got?
Oh God.
I've got David Bowie's.
We
could swap.
Do you want to swap it? We can play.
We've got plenty here.
Who
do I have?
David Bowie's. Who would you swap David Bowie's for?
We've got.
You can label it as someone interesting. You can have it.
Yeah, that's cheating. You have to take it as it is right now. David Bowie's
I've got
mobile
Martin
there,
Hollis's phone number, but he's not answering at the moment.
I mean, it's not.
Hi, this is Keith Stuart. I'm afraid I can't take your call at the moment. The chances are, actually calling during the day, I might well be at my office, which has no mobile phone reception.
Oh, excuses.
I like that he's got that in there.
At theguardian.com. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Just leave a message.
At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished, you may hang up or press 1 to change your message.
Hi Keith, it's Anne. Just calling with regards to One Life Left and also to the Toku Podcast. I hear you've been listening to them as well. We have them in the studio and we just want to know where your allegiances lie. So if you could just give me a ring back, that would be great.
You've got 25 minutes.
See you, bye.
I can tell that you're playing something because there are people dancing. I can't hear what's...
It's the letters
Is
theme,
it?
Simon. It's the letters theme.
A lot of letters this week, I
Thanks,
noticed.
guys.
Yeah, loads of letters. We better crack on with them. I've got two to me. First one is from Fred Perkins. He says, "Hi Simon, team and super special guest. It was great to see Simon at Easter," he said, "but I was wondering when Anne and Steve will be visiting. I've got a pretty busy schedule over the next few weeks, so if we can get your people to speak to my people, then that would be fab. Question, you know my favourite episode, but what is yours?" Fred Perkins, who I saw over Easter, he said his favourite episode was the Joe Cornish one. He would like to know when you're going to see him. and what your favourite episode is.
Favourite episode is today's episode.
Yes.
My favourite episode is the one where you weren't here. Both of you
People
weren't
seemed
here.
to like that, didn't they?
Going to do another one of those
that's
soon.
good.
Are you?
Yeah.
Are you? Have you spoken to us about that?
I'll do it when you're away sometime. You're frequently away. You're both very uncommitted.
Hello team and SSG, writes Robert Wells. This Saturday was Record Store Day, a day invented to get people back in good old-fashioned bricks and mortar record stores. It manifests itself as a day when I can't get through the door of most of my favourite record stores. Last weekend was International Tabletop Day, a day invented to celebrate all that is good about playing tangible games with friends. I celebrated by going to a local game shop, buying some new games, and then being beaten at every single one of them over a large quantity of beer. Do you think there's scope for days like this in video games? Should we have a day celebrating the physical stores where we go into game and remember the joy we'd have browsing the boxes on the shelves? Maybe a local multiplayer day where we gather on sofas across the land to scream at that spiked blue shell. Pip pip, Robert. It's a good idea, isn't it?
Yes, is the answer. Let's
International
do that.
Game Day. Well, we should do it.
Yeah.
Sort it.
International
One
Life
Life Left could
Day.
lead a campaign. Maybe
We could be interviewed by the BBC.
I bet we could do this, you know.
Hey, Kate, don't you think that Toku should maybe start a campaign to get...
Yeah, I think we've got that idea
Because
first.
someone turn off their headphones.
Right, I'm calling Yuki right now.
Kate, you've got a letter.
Yes, and it ties in quite nicely to the last one. It's International Street Pass Week. Yeah. You can get special Mii characters and a special theme for your 3DS. Hooray! So, Street Pass. I always think Nintendo are a bit backwards when it comes to online and such. But compared to the Vita's version, PlayStation Near or something, the 3DS seems to have it sorted. Or does it? Discuss. Maybe Street Pass is good for hashtag networking. Thanks, much love, and keep up the good work. That's in inverted commas. Chris Stewart.
Thanks, Chris Stewart.
Chris Stewart. I guess the beauty of the Street Pass on the Nintendo platform is that it's so simple, right? Like
Fun.
that it just happens.
Yep.
You don't really have to think about it. Sony one's quite fiddly.
They've changed it, haven't they?
Have they?
Didn't they do something with Nier?
I'm constantly getting alerts saying you just found a game good, and I don't really understand what it means.
And there's been a huge change in some graph in the local area.
I don't know. I'd rather just see a little avatar come up to me and go, "Lol, one life left," and scowl and shake his fist.
I think you look fantastic. Holly.
Yes, dear team and SSG, I've always been pleasantly surprised that your show has offered me and my feature a platform that is so often denied to critical voices, and that you help me to single-handedly destroy the corrupt games industry each week. So you can imagine my shock when, after I delivered this week's feature on a C90 cassette in an unmarked jiffy bag, is it STE? STE? Steve. Oh.
Well, this is awkward.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Steve. Oh, where was I? Steve actually tried to censor me for being too edgy about the general election. I was appalled.
That was
I was appalled that he wouldn't let me say the thing I wasn't allowed to say. Very unethical. As a result of this, I will now be boycotting the show in the same way that I boycott Kotaku and Eurogamer, i.e. by continuing to listen every week, but scowling whilst I do so. Yours betrayedly, Game Under.
Yeah, Game Under. So that's coming up later in the show.
It's a different one, though.
Yeah, it's a different one.
Right. Okay, why is that?
Because we're under a certain period of broadcasting.
The pre-election period.
Well, we have to be very
broadcasting.
even-handed about all of the... And, you know, Game Under, if there's one thing he isn't, it's even-handed. Yeah. So, yeah, well, we'll see, won't we, in a little bit.
Anne and also Steve, Simon and super special guests. I am also a huge fan of Going Around games, which should be a studio name. What are your top 3 Going Around games all time? Also, how'd you get whatever on a bus? You Pokemon pretty much works for anything, e.g. how'd you get Mike Bithell on a bus? You Pokemon. How'd you get 4 elephants on a bus? You Pokemon. Okay, maybe not. I spend my work days databasing, so I need to listen to good gaming podcasts, and your radio show to keep my sanity. It's really interesting listening to the shows in reverse chronological order, as you are all getting younger and younger with each and every episode, and the classic video games that I love are being discussed as new. Even if they all only get given 7 out of 10, which is another great name for a studio. Love the show, loves you all. Pink Dino.
Thanks, Pink Dino. Best Going Around games?
All of them.
All of them.
Largely
Any
can be
game in which you
described
go
by
around.
that you go around.
I'm still enjoying Grand Theft Auto 5, going around, shooting around. A couple of other bits. Sorry, Brian, I don't think we're going to have time for your letter. Thanks for sending it in. We'll read it out next week. Gonzalo writes into... he wants us to talk about his new game. He describes it as Tetris plus Candy Crush, releasing on April 25th. He says, "Hi, OOLT.
1-1 left.
1-1 left. I love your show." He says, "I've developed iOS apps for 5 years now, released more than 50. He's got one coming out this week. I don't know what it's called. It must be called Color Tricks, I think, because that's what in the link to the URL. Anyway, we can't read out the URL for the press kit and stuff. I think it's called Color Tricks. Check it out."
All right, can't say fairer than that.
You can't. If you've got an app you want us to pimp, or if you want to apologise for any other misdemeanors or anything really, email us.
team@onelifeleft.com.
Or you can just send us a really big poster and a tube. That works too. You are listening to One Life Left on Resonance 104.4 FM. We are a radio show. Sometimes people call us a podcast to get cross at that because we are above that sort of puerile nonsense. This is Please Lose Battle, 11 o'clock. It's from chipmusic.org. Talking of puerile nonsense, Marioki was last Thursday.
How did it go?
You weren't there, were you, Simon? You weren't there. It was an exhausting night, but it was excellent. We had some brilliant new songs. We had really good attendance. Lots and lots of people. People getting very drunk.
Were they?
Yeah, they were handing out shots at the front. It was quite distracting when we were trying to do our jobs. But yeah, it was excellent, and we announced the date for the next one, which is going to be...
The next Thursday.
Well...
#Thursday.
Well, interesting that you should bring that up.
Yeah.
Because we've had to move it to a second Thursday. I tried to do this on stage. No, it doesn't work.
Why?
Why? Because we're going to be at Nordic Game on the third Thursday this month. We're doing a special third stay over there. So, actually, our very special 1 year anniversary at Loading happens on the 14th of May.
Second Thursday.
The second Thursday. And it's also a very special day because it's Anne's first ever day in her 30s.
Whoa!
Yeah,
Excellent.
I know.
So you are going to start your 30s as you mean to go on.
Yeah, on stage singing about video games.
Yes, exactly. Good. Just obviously we've been doing this stuff for 9 years now, so a little bit of advice to you guys. Don't do a video game karaoke night, or our lawyers, and we've got loads of them, so be in touch. We've got at least 3. You used to live with one.
Yeah.
Are you still speaking to her?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, be careful. That said... Will you be there on the 14th?
We're usually there.
I meant to be at the last one. I was doing a thing and I don't remember. And
do less
terrible.
Do less things.
I will. What
if
we did a video games rap battle?
Well, my advice to you would be, if you are to do it, if you're going to brand it like we have, don't commit to any specific time, because that just like we went for the third Thursday and I don't know more. It's been like sort of 50-50, I guess, whether we've actually done it on the third Thursday.
I went to one on a Wednesday.
On a Wednesday.
So, yeah. Math.
We do
Wednesday.
also still have to explain what Thursday means every time. So we've sort of, I don't know if you've noticed, but on the Facebook events, I've slowly sort of been transitioning to Marioki.
Which is
Marioki
hashtag
Thursday.
brand.
Marioki is a hashtag brand, also legally protected. I mean, it's not,
Especially if you're Nintendo.
but we will break friends if you take it.
I was chatting to somebody from Nintendo, and I said, I was like, this is a GDC, and he said, oh yeah, of course you're doing Marioki tonight. And I said, yeah. He said, I said, are you okay with us calling it Marioki? And he said, yeah, no, I think that, it's really funny. He said, just don't put any pictures up of Mario. And I'm like,
Oh, no.
I was like, yeah, maybe don't come then.
It's not Mario anyway.
It's not Mario. No,
It's
of
not
course
Mario.
it's not.
Mario doesn't have wings. So it's not-
Obviously.
have you ever seen Mario do karaoke? Completely out of character. Doesn't represent him physically
Exactly.
and doesn't represent him in terms of character. It's Dario.
Yeah, and and it's not just
Karaoke.
karaoke, is it? We do Crash Bandicooty.
Yeah.
Don't we?
Do Master Chiefy and all the others. Okay, so that's happening on the 14th. Any other business?
No, see you there. I'll be at this one, I think.
Will you?
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for your time.
And I'll be at the one in Norway.
Game Under.
Sorry.
This is Game Under. It's almost election time in the UK, although I'm not officially registered to vote as that would involve giving away my location. Having said that, it has been disappointing to see that in every single debate between candidates so far, not one of them has mentioned the most important issue facing us, ethics in games journalism. I know for a fact that Ed Miliband is a huge Manic Miner fan, David Cameron is addicted to Candy Crush, and Nigel Farage enjoys playing as Gandhi in Civilization 5. I know you love games candidates, so can you address my questions? Will you make it illegal not to give a score at the end of a game review? How will you legislate to ensure that frame rates stay at above 30 FPS at all times? How do I get past the cleric beast in Bloodborne? You can be part of the machine if you want. You can be part of the same corrupt system as the games journalists and the games designers. Or you can make a change and make me Secretary of State for Ethics after the election. That's ethics, not Essex, by the way, Farage. The ball's in your court. Until next time on Game Under.
You're listening to One Life Left on Resonance 104.4 FM. We are a video game radio show, and for the last 9 years we've been doing reviews. This show is no different. Okay, that was just a little precursor to the review section. Just thought
I can hear anything. I
just thought I'd hype it up a little bit. Simon, what have you been playing this week?
This week I have been playing, in inverted commas, Titan Souls.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Why the inverted commas, Simon?
Well, do you know anything about Titan
No.
Souls? It's from this genre of games that Dark Souls comes from. Bloodborne, I believe, is another one. It's the type of game that you see a lot of people banging on about on Twitter about how brilliant it is and how...
They're the ones that are really hard.
Right. Now, I like hard games. I've made hard games.
You have?
I have. But nothing like Titan Souls. It took me about 2 hours to get past the first 5 minutes. It's a game which it's described as a boss rush. So it's based around defeating large boss characters. You play a small pixely man who's got an arrow, and you've only got one arrow, and you throw it, and then you have to pick it up again, or sort of suck it back to you. I mean, goodness me knows what is actually going on in it, because it took me 2 hours to do the first 5 minutes. I learned the controls, up, down, left, right, and then X to do a little roll, and then square to shoot the arrow, and then square to suck it back. And then you walk up to the first cavern, and there's a blobby monster that blobs down, and then it sort of goes... and then it jumps on your head, and then you're dead. And then so you have to go back to the last save, and it's like you spend maybe 10 seconds walking back to the... and then it jumps on your head and then you're dead, and then so you have to walk another 10 seconds back up there, and then it starts off and goes and then you're dead again, and so you have to go back to that bit and go for the next 10 seconds, and then it goes and like you do that for 2 hours. And I'm thinking, like, PC Gamer have given it the highest score they've given any game this year to date, I believe, or that was prior to GTA 5. But I don't understand. People must be lying about it. I don't think anybody.
They're better than you are.
No, but I don't. You have to. I just know it's a big in joke. I just don't get it. But I did defeat the globby one this morning, and I was like, okay, cool. So then you start back at the same save point. You'll walk a little further now because you walk to another cave, and there's a big block with an eye on it, and it doesn't do anything until you shoot an arrow at it, and it just rolls at you, and then you're dead, and then you have to go back to the like 20 seconds now to walk back up to this bit, and then you see and it's not doing anything. Then you shoot it, and it rolls at you, and then you're dead. And then you've got to go back again. Yeah, I don't. It's too hard for me.
You didn't feel really happy when you finally killed it? Because that's the only reason that I ever play anything like that, is because when I finally kill it, I'm like, I'm invincible!
Until you go to the next bit and it begins to wait something rolls at you. I find it, I mean, they make a big deal out of it being difficult. I don't know. Has anyone else played it?
No, I don't tend to play hard games because they're hard.
They are hard. I mean, they are hard, aren't they? You played Dark Souls?
No,
too hard.
I had to play some for a stream and it was horrible.
It's too hard.
Yeah, so I've got Bloodborne waiting for me at home, and I just need to. It just feels like such an undertaking just to start it.
But then people just don't stop talking about it on Twitter. Who are these people? Do they all meet up for weekends where they all like hurt each other in dungeons? Do they? Because that's what I'm beginning to suspect.
I don't know.
7 out of 10. What have you been playing, Anne?
I've been playing Silver Point, which is an iOS game, which is... So it's made by something else, who've done some really good audio games. This isn't an audio game. In association with Punch Drunk, who are an immersive theatre company, and Absolute Vodka.
What?
I love vodka! So this sounded like a perfect little... trio of people making a game that I would love. So what it is essentially a match 3 game in which you unveil a narrative that is going along, and there are lots of little illustrations in it, Andy Warhol's illustrations.
Okay.
Lots of new ones apparently that you won't have seen before. I haven't seen any of it. Well, I probably have, but I wouldn't know. Wouldn't know to look. And it's really beautiful. It's really nice, and the match 3 thing is lovely, and you get multipliers, blah, blah, blah. But then sometimes it pops up with a thing and it goes, oh, you've been playing this for a long time, Anne. I can make this a bit easier if you just give us your phone number. So I did give them my phone number. Got a few more stars, which helped me progress a little bit further, a little bit quicker. Oh, you've been playing this for a long time. You're doing really well, but you're spending quite a long time on this. Why don't you give us your mother's maiden name? So I put in a fake one this time. And they went, oh, didn't think you'd give us that. And then it starts going, you have been spending a long time on this. Wouldn't you rather be outside doing something? And I was like, oh, don't do this meta like, oh, you're playing a game and we're going to tell you that maybe you should be doing other stuff. That bit I felt a bit uneasy about. But then it got to a point in this level, and if I was just playing the game normally, it will take me quite a long time to complete this level and get to the next bit so I can get to the next bit of the story. And it just popped up and it said, oh, by the way, you have to be in Greater London to play this. It said, you can move on to the next level if you go to any bar in London between now and I think it's the end of this week. Can't do it Friday or Saturday, you have to do it in specific times, but if you go to a bar in London, you can get onto the next level.
What?
So I've stopped playing because I'm just going to go to a bar.
Whereas presumably that's where Keith Stuart is right now.
Oh man, I've given them all my information.
So isn't it? It's a game that you have to play over a certain period of time, doesn't it? As a real life start and end.
Yeah, and I think it's just a 2-week period that it's in. So I think it's in it now because I'm playing it. So it will finish at some point. So I'm going to try to go to. I wasn't planning on going to a bar this week, but I'm going to have to.
So is the match 3 thing anything to do with the experience? I mean, my heart sank when you said that, basically, because I was in until the point you said, so it's a match 3 game, which I like, but I'm slightly bored. We talked about this last time about Touchstone, about how I love the plot in Touchstone. I love the game as well, but they feel completely separate from each other.
No, there are similarities. The narrative itself, the story is pretty dreamy, and it's a bit weird. It's not like, oh, she woke up one day and she went to the shop, blah blah. It's like she's got stars. She feels like she's got stars in her, and it's all like planets and stars and things.
Right, those are the icons that you're collecting.
So. And you reveal, as you earn more stars, you reveal more little bits of the story.
It seems weak. to me. I haven't played it. I will play it, but that sort of...
Well, you can't because it finishes in a week now and it's on... I know you've got an iPad now, haven't you?
Yeah.
And that's interesting because that leads on to the game that I'm going to
7 out of 10.
I've been playing Pancake.
Right.
On my iOS device, on iPad.
Yeah, someone recommended that
It's
to me.
amazing. It's brilliant. It's fantastic. It's by the same guy who made 2 other games I love, OK, and a game called, I think it's called Syro, which the other day I had a real craving for. Kurin. You ever played that?
Nope.
I have.
Simon?
Yep.
Guys?
There's a game out now that's similar to it.
Right, where
it's a car.
You revolve. This is not a car. This is your revolving branch. This is an elegant version of that. Like really, really cute and brilliant. I had a craving for that. Looked and found it was by the same guy who made Pancake and OK, which is another brilliant game which I haven't reviewed. Both of those games would get 7 out of 10. I'm actually reviewing Pancake, where you toss a pancake. It's got a bit of the Bennett Foddy style realistic physics turned into a repeated, brilliant, simple game. That's all you do is you flip a pancake by touching the screen. When you touch it, the pancake flips, and then you've got to try and catch it again. You can't move your pan. You've just got to try and cushion it a bit, and then you flip it again. So far, I have made 19 flips of the pancake.
Well done.
And then it gets tattooed on your arm. Not your actual arm, your arm in the game. And
that would be an immersive experience.
it would. That could be our Oculus game, along with the water thing.
Yeah.
So it's fantastic. It's another solid 7 out of 10. We've got 3 minutes left, guys, so keep your reviews punchy.
Go, Holly, go.
Well, I haven't had much time to play games, so I've been playing Pokemon Shuffle, which is, again, another Match 3 game. It's Nintendo's first kind of foray into free-to-play, and I don't really mind Nintendo doing free-to-play because I like their games, as long as they're not introducing them into games that already exist in kind of ways, but this is obviously a free-to-play game, and it's incredibly simple and easy. It's Match 3, but you can move the icons to anywhere on, that's on the board. It's very, very easy. It's very cute. It looks very nice. I'm kind of thinking it's simpler because it's aimed at children, but then I'm a little bit dubious as why it's free to play. But anyway, but yeah, it's a nice little kind of tube commute game. But yeah, it hasn't got enough to it to be properly in depth, and it's just a little bit too simple.
Have you spent any money on it yet?
No, I am refusing to spend money on it. So 7 out of 10.
Yeah,
seems reasonable.
Has it got adverts in it?
Not that I've noticed yet, no. I don't think so.
Okay, so... Yeah, I suppose you're still essentially making money for them because they profit by you having the phone installed, having the version installed, which boosts them up the things and then brings the whales
It's
on
a
board.
3DS game, though.
Yeah, it's 3DS, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So I'm not sure what they're getting out of it.
Sorry, I thought this was a product of the story that I read on Anne's news heard on Anne's news a few weeks ago of them working with Dina.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Okay, good. Well, won't play that then.
Kate.
How much time do I have?
You got about a minute.
You've got slightly less than when you asked.
Okay, I've been playing Dragon Age DLC, and it's really long, and all I've done so far is find a boat and pull some levers and ride my horse around, which is okay. I enjoy the horse part, but other than that, it's not so great so far. I hope to fight a dragon sometime. 7 out of 10.
How sexy is Dragon Age?
Oh, very sexy. If you initiate the sex, it's very sexy.
Me and Kate have many long conversations about Dragon Age Inquisition.
And the nipples.
Do you ever get to look in the freezers? So to speak.
Well, you just get to look at people's nipples on them, pretty much.
Whoa, even better.
Whoa.
In their natural habitat.
Is it sexier when they're on or when they're off?
Yeah, one on, one off.
Oh,
perfect.
And the men didn't even wear long johns. It's brilliant.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
Good.
Wow.
Right, well, for more of that chat, you can catch up with the Toku Podcast.
Yes, at Toku_podcast on Twitter, and then Toku Podcast everywhere else.
Everywhere
else.
Everywhere.
Even on One Life Left.
I like that whisper thing you did there.
Yeah.
Like that kind of backing up people.
That's how
with...
the radio works.
Yeah, we've got an echo.
Yeah.
Good. Well, thank you very much for coming on. You're on Twitter as well, aren't you, pair of you?
Yes, I'm at Nielsen_Holly, so NIELSEN_HOLLY.
And I'm at How Not to Draw, spelled like it sounds.
Awesome.
I'm on Twitter as well.
Are you?
I'm not going to tell you what it is, though.
Ooh.
Scanters.
Mysterious.
I've given up Twitter for a week.
Simon?
How's that going?
So far, I'm about... What time is it? It's nearly 7 p.m, so I'm 19 hours in.
Nice.
Oh, actually, no, because I tweeted this morning to say I was giving up, so I'm probably about 12. Probably 7 hours in. It's going okay so far.
Good. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having
Good
us.
luck with your podcast.
Thank you.
And our karaoke.
I hope it goes really, really well for you within limits. We'll be back next week. But until then, goodbye.
Bye.